So hi, my name is Isaac Thomas, and what I'm about to speak, there is a premise, and the premise is connected to Munchers, the writer's circle that happened like 2 months ago. So basically, I was going through a certain phase, and after that phase, I'm kind of started smiling back again. So that particular day, what I realized, like I have this habit of journaling and reviewing my life. And what I realized seeing Clinton and Sweetie is that Clinton is someone who gives metaphors like cheesecake. You know, the coffee gets cold, keeps things light. Similarly, like when the event is going on, Sweetie will come and with that 1,000-watt smile, she would be like, maza aa raha hai. She will take that pause and ask all of that. And every time, every host that Munchers select will have a catalog of stories. And they will bring those stories, tell those, engage the audience. So that day was very breezy for me, and like my performance was more like trauma, shadow, and all that stuff. And I was like, somewhere it kind of feels out of place, and you need to let go certain things, go a tad light, process those emotions, feel light. And that day I actually went back and had a smash burger in Beyond Burgers, and I remember someone from the audience, Sweetie, picked her up, and she was in her 40s, I guess, and she said a poetry. It was a shairi, and everyone in the audience, like 4 or 5 people in the audience, started saying that poetry. And then I realized memorizing poetry is something like of a lost art. And I remember elders used to say, like, Ramayan kanthas padhoge ya Mahabharat kanthas padho, so it changes something in you. Everything, anything, be it a Bible or Sundar Kand or Hanuman Chalisa, or a poem, anything that you memorize from by heart and recite it, it changes something in you. Now, just want to ask a very cliche question. How many of you guys believe in love at first sight? Okay. For me, I believe love in through all the senses, because love at first sight can falter if once the person starts speaking. It mostly does. So I feel love is an amalgamation of all the senses, where you spend time with that particular person in moments where you feel them, touch them, hear them, and sense them. And then I realized that falling in love with a person is like memorizing a poem. And then I wrote something around it. It's a pretty light stuff, pretty Muncher aligned stuff. Okay. It's called Poem and Pause. When we read a poem the first time, it feels awkward. But then we like the poem and decide to fall in love with it, or are in love with it. We keep reading it slowly and steadily, memorizing it, get into the rhythm of it. We know where the semicolons are, the commas, the pauses, where the emotions go low, where it goes high, where we need to raise our voice, and where we need to just slow it down and just feel the pause and the silence between 2 lines, 2 words, 2 syllables. To fall in love with a poem takes its own sweet time, but it's worth it. Sometimes falling in love with a person is similar, like reading a poem. When you read it the first time, it's awkward. You read it in a gist. There aren't a lot of emotions, and if they are, there is no control. It's all hush hush and pacey. And chances are we can come faster, or we can just spoil the moment, stuttering throughout and ending it before we would. But if we decide, let me fall in love, read them slowly, take time to know them, let them slowly unravel and blossom, and see if I can fall in love with their different selves, experiencing them through a spectrum of emotions over countless moments. That's beautiful, because then you get to understand their likes, dislikes, their silence, their words, their breath, their feelings, and their heartbeats. You know when to pause, when to go on, and the subtle difference between a peck on the cheeks, a kiss on the lips, a smooch on the neck, and grace on the ears. And when you know when to do it and do them in a rhythm, love becomes poetry in motion, and you both experience the pause you seek. Thank you. Thank you. That girl, Teju.
Tejaswini.
Tejaswini.
Clap, 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 clap.